couple of pages here, so we're good to go. But yes, we are good to go. I'm going to slide that across. Yes, we are in. Welcome to the pregame. It's live, and the reason why it's live is because of you. Yes, it's live because of you. We got a lot to get through. We got a lot of good stuff to get through. I'm going to make you think on this one, and you're going to make me think as well. But welcome in again. Yes, it's the last match. It's the farewell match to League One. It's also, sadly, in my opinion, the farewell match to a number of players in this squad. We're going to go through that pretty soon. I'm going to basically tell you who I think should be leaving the squad to make Wrexham get ready for the next chapter, the next adventure, the next campaign, the championship. I'm also going to be honest with you and tell you exactly how next season's going to flow on two different tangents. And remember, Rob and Ryan, they're not here for money. They are R&R loyal. R&R loyal. There should be a T-shirt made up. R-N-R, R&R loyal. Rob and Ryan loyal. Because I don't think they're here for the money. I think they're here for loyalty. They've built something. They've built something like they wanted to build it. And I think they've really got into the heart and soul of Wrexham inside of themselves. And the community is absolutely in love with Rob and Ryan for what they've done over time. Can you think of any other club that has had the fortune of Wrexham that Wrexham has had since Rob first came along, and then, gratefully, we say with a bit more gusto and a bit more Hollywood-style stuff, Ryan Reynolds. You couldn't have gotten it any better. But looking at the last game, we're going to get to that too. We're going to touch the game last of all. But first of all, I want to take you through some really good stuff. And again, welcome in. I'm going to say it one more time. And hey, I'm going to type it in, drop a comment, and I gotta say please. I have to say please. Gotta say please. You have to say please. Drop a comment, please. Boomsht, ba-ba-disht. There you go. There you go. So, getting into the show. Welcome in, like I say, last game of the season. It's a farewell game for many of the players. It's a farewell game to League One, but there's so much riding in this summer. We're going to go through that as well because this show is the pre-game Lincoln Wrexham and current Wrexham topics. Lots of current Wrexham topics. You're going to love this. I'm really going to get inside your minds and explore some avenues that we haven't thought of so far because let's face it, you've got to get promotion to get to this stage. So like I say, we're going to get into this right now, but thank you for being here and much love, much love, much love to everybody who gets into this every time. And if you watch this later, come back again on the weekend for the live watch along and join us live and you have a lot more fun because you'll be there in the chat, yeah? So like I say, drop a comment and you can also join us on fifascup@gmail.com, F-I-F-A-S-C-U-P. Now, talking about Rob and Ryan, loyal long haulers. They're not in for the quick cash. It's not quick cash for these guys. It's definitely in for the long haul. People that are sort of sequestering, basically asking whether they're going to be here for a couple of years because they're going to make the $100 million and sell it. I don't think that's the way it is. Tea time. I don't think that's the way it is. I really don't. I think the other side of the equation is they haven't sold it yet and they've had offers. They're here for the long term. Now, moving forward right now, this is where it gets really interesting. Rob and Ryan, they're going to have to make some decisions really soon. Big decisions. Firstly, the first decision they got to make is, do they create a team now from League One moving into the Championship that is good enough to mount a promotion campaign? A promotion campaign. Back to back to back to back. Now, if you believe that's possible, I love you for it because it's a dream of a thought. But in reality terms, the higher up the tiers you go, the more money the other clubs have. In reality, when we get into the Championship, we will not be the guys flush with the cash. All the other teams, mostly all the other teams, have got way more money than we have. And when you also think that coming down for the Premier League, you got three, yeah? Dos, tres. Coming down from the Premiership. Three big clubs. Loads of money. Great squads. Were good enough to get them out of the Championship initially. And now teams are going to go back down to the Championship. But those three teams that come down are Premier League teams. They come down. In my estimation, there's at least 6 or 7 clubs that are probably well advanced, well ahead from Wrexham, not financially, not just on the field, but basically as a club. So we're going in there. If we're going to make a charge for promotion, we're going in there literally 10th in the league behind 10 other good teams. And it's not going to be like it was in League 2 or League 1. Not at all. The Championship is a massive step up. So looking at it that way, if Rob, Ryan, and the echelon upstairs want to mount a proper promotion charge, where are you going to get the money? Where are you going to get the money? That's the first thing. The money is the decider. Money has brought Wrexham up through the National League, League 2, League 1 to where they are right now, and an amazing promotion this time around, yeah? But where are you going to get the money? You need billionaire sponsors at this stage. You really do. You need billionaire sponsors coming in. My take is get some massive American money into this club, sponsorship-wise, because I've said it before, whatever the Americans touch, it works. And a cheeky little saying that I've got about American sponsorship and American promotions and American yada yadas is it's big boobs and apple pie, baby, because they put it out front and they sell you beautiful pies and it sells. And whatever the Americans touch when they promote it, boom, Bob's your uncle. You can take it to the bank. They don't fail. They make it happen. So I say this. I look for some big sponsorships from America to come deep into Wrexham. That's not just one thing. The other thing is those big pockets will feed the coach, the coaching staff, the technical directors to look and saute what kind of players we need to bring in to bring us up to level 2 challenging mode. You know, challenging mode. Good morning from Arizona. Arizona, big help. And that is SCDRJ03. Good morning to you from Arizona. It's possible to build a squad that could push promotion, but I bet they will look to make 6 to 7 key additions over the summer and more in January if it's going well. Brilliant point, man. Brilliant point. And big love to Arizona. Big love to USA. Big time. Big time. 35% of the family last show was from the USA, just so as you know. So it's a big part of this show is America. Another big part is obviously Wales, England in the UK, and many countries around the world. But top numbers is right now in America. But building that team, Muncho dollars, getting the right players, 6 to 7. It's interesting you say that. I've got a list in front of. We're going to share this right now with everybody else, but I got a list. I'm going to share that with you in a couple of seconds. Another point I want to get to you as well, because we're talking about mounting a promotion charge, yeah? And it takes money, and it takes getting the players, and we just discussed that, yeah? And you're absolutely on the money, and in Arizona, absolutely on the money. 6 to 7, that's a good number. That's a good number. But when you get to my players that I'm going to release, wonder if we agree, because I know we won't, but that's great because there's different players and different standards, different values, and they've done different things in each week. And by the way, we're also asking throughout this pregame, who is your player of the season? Player of the season this year. Who was your player of the season? Enter it anytime. Think slowly over that one because it's not an easy decision, but you think that out. Player of the season. That's what I'm asking you for as we go through the show. But staying with number 1, the promotion charge. You've heard what I said. It's about money. It's about getting the players in, and it's about getting ready. By the way, Phil doesn't have a lot of time to get that team ready for the next league, yeah? It's like this. You're going on the summer tour. You're going to be down in Melbourne, yeah? Mr. Melbourne, Max Boswell down there. Big up to you. I know you're listening. Phil J. Weston, good morning. Good morning, Phil. 7 o'clock Wrexham time. Noon here in Mountain time. It's about 11 o'clock on the coast. And Arizona, I think Arizona's on the same time as us, if I'm not correct. So, hey, it's good for everybody. But, hey, around the world, welcome in. But big in, OG, Phil J. Weston from Wrexham. Good evening. But like I say, you've heard what I said about the promotion charging that. The other way to look at it is this. Let's just say there's big talks going on upstairs, just off the balcony at Wrexham. And Ryan and Rob and all the guys are saying, it's going to cost a lot of money, and don't know where we're going to get that right now, but we're going to have to. So we need to get some sales to some bigwigs and get some money in, yeah? Otherwise, we've got to go another way. The other way is this, and this is really what I think they should do, because in my mind of minds, I have 3, but in my mind of minds, I just got to think that going for promotion this time, although it's great for Welcome to Wrexham and the TV show, is it reality? Ask yourself, dead in your tracks. Is it reality to get 4 promotions back to back? That in itself would break our own record that broke a record, per se. Go and look up Swansea from the mid-'80s. They got 3 leagues in 5 years. We've done it in 3. Swansea City, another Welsh club, yeah. But looking at it this way, I don't think they want to try and go for promotion. My personal take, okay? I think I want to wait 2 to 3 years, build up the squad slowly, okay? Manage the team over the years and get it ready slowly over 4 years to get to the Premier League. I think if we go up after a few years of getting the right quality in, not rushing it, because let's face it, we could only rush those last 3 years because of dollars. Yeah, dólares, money, dinero. That's why we made those last 3 years go bang, bang, bang. If we didn't have the money, we'd still be in the National League. End of. Done. You know we would. And this story would never have happened. But moving forward, you got to stick in this league, the Championship. I mean, what does that even sound like? Championship. From where we've come from. We're a Championship club. It's like, what does that sound like? Absolutely bloody amazing. I mean, stop yourself. Pinch yourself. Oh, geez. What does that sound like? Championship bloody club. It's absolutely freaking amazing. Again, player of the season. Drop it down below, guys. What's your player of the season? But drop it down this way. I want to see Wrexham stick for 2 to 3 years. Like I say, get this team together, get it ready, and then mount a charge. You'll also have time to garner some more promotions, bigger sponsors, and we'll go there ready. If we keep rushing the gut, we're going to fall on our faces, is my real worry. I don't want us to fall on our faces. I want us to carry through and make sure we get there readied, really readied at each stage. Back to Arizona, we're on 11 million wages, which is 21st in the Championship. Absolutely my music, brother. Absolutely. They could stretch to 16 to 20 million and be as good as any but Premier League parachute payments clubs. That's a possibility. And that money, that parachute payment, in the hundreds of millions, yeah? It's lots of money coming in. Them teams coming down get it the year after, remember? They don't get it this year. But they've got to be financially stable coming down for being in the Premier League that year, yeah? And the season before, they're having a great run off the Championship, so they're making dinero there too. So they're not coming down poor. They are so not coming down poor. And you look at the teams right now, Leeds, Burnley, at the top of the Championship, yeah? They didn't come down poor, and they've done the business again. They're going back up. And credit to Leeds United and to Burnley. It looked like it would have been Sheffield United a long time into the season, but bang, 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 they fell on their faces. So, got to say, great points there on the wages. Also, grow responsibly while giving it a chance. My take entirely. I really don't want to hit the Premiership sooner than later. You all know that I am not a Premier League fan. I love the rolling ball. I love the referee making really bad decisions. The linesman not catching that bloody offside. Because that's the nature of the human. It's human game. It's a human-driven sport. Humans are watching it. I know there's a lot of tech in other sports, and I get it, and it's all good. But for football, I think we're ruining the game with too much technology. That's just my take. And I can take it when I'm watching it. It's not a problem. I'm not that stuck in my track. But I love what we've had with Wrexham over the years because it's been natural football without technology because we were poor. And I liked being poor. Now we're rich. It's changing the world. So getting ready for it. I'm going to tell you my players I'm going to release. This might shake a few heads. You might not be in the same wavelength here. But remember, these guys that I'm releasing, this is what I'm releasing so we turn into a championship chasing team and bring in big players. So go with me on that scenario when we get there. We're getting there right now. But again, stick for 2 to 3 years. Get ready. Mount promotion. That's what you do. Now, looking at the players I'm going to release, and like I say, it might surprise you. It might well surprise you. But I've got 10 possible outs, okay? Which means I'm looking for 10 possible ins. Why? Because we've landed in this scenario, we've landed sponsors, we've got the money readied, we're projecting sales again, where we're going, so we know what we can afford. Championship players are not Premier League players. If you bat cleverly, look around, you don't need the guy that's scoring 25 million goals a second. You need to look and select carefully whose quality, what you need. What do we need to change in our team are the 10 players and what I'm talking about. We don't need a wholesale change. Absolutely not. But when you look at legs and you look at speed, you look at youth, those are the categories we've got to start addressing now as we move into the championship. You can't get glory 9 times out of 10 with players over 35. You can have 1 or 2. It's not an issue. And 1 or 2 normally do hang around. But they normally sit on the bench and come in and do the last 20. So the first guy that I'm looking to release is Stephen Fletcher. You might think, what? What? But unless he can go another season for 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes towards the end of the game, then he has to go. We have to get someone else in. Remember, I'm chasing promotion. I'm not being anything other than ruthless with my trade acquisitions, releasing and bringing in. If I don't do that, I'm not going to raise the bar. Stevie Fletcher would be the first one to go. Jack Marriott sticks around. Sam Smith sticks around. Elliot Lee sticks around. Paul Mullin Phillip, 2027. The career runs to 2027. Make him an ambassador. That's what I say with Paul Mullin. Keep him. Keep him. You cannot rule out a fit Paul Mullin coming back. It's worth considering. So keep him. If it doesn't work out, we don't sell him because he's a club ambassador moving on. You can't let him go to another club. It wouldn't be right. And I think that he is befitting, really befitting of serving Wrexham as a club ambassador. Back onto the screen, talking to chat. Phil J, to you, my friend, seeing us back in the second tier is great. Oh, it's unbelievable. It's bloody unbelievable. I mean, I didn't ever think it was going to come again. Not in a million years. And out of the National League, I thought, well, we're in League Two. This is wonderful. But I didn't see automatic promotion there. And I didn't see automatic promotion here. I said playoffs both times. You remember that. But anyway, back to Phil. Seeing us back in the second tier is great. Been 40-odd years since the last time. Yeah. Looking for a consolidation next year. Mid-table, find our feet, and build a team worthy of possible promotion. There you go. OG says, build a team worthy of a possible promotion, but consolidate mid-table. Absolutely brilliant. That's where we need to go. I would say if we went into the championship as we are and we finish 11th, I'll be well happy with that for year one. I would be ecstatic. Even if it was 17th or 18th, which is close to it, it's still not going to be bad for you. Yeah. So, but mid-table would be perfect. The second year after that, if we could say 7, 8, and then build up, maybe get into like close to hitting the playoffs by year 3, maybe catch the playoffs, do well in the playoffs year 3, get in there. But again, that might be too soon. But the build up for it, absolutely. Looking also, cup of tea time. Some people want to keep this guy, some don't. Jay Rodriguez, I think he could stick around, but only in midfield, not up front. He could stick around, but I'm looking to release Jay. I'm looking to release Ollie, sadly. But at this level, you've got to ask yourself, it's a high level, and Ollie might not get the luck he needs. Jacob Mendy, done well for us. Another guy I'm thinking to release. Now, another guy, talking about Samuel Dolby, up at Dundee United. 26 games, 13 goals this season. He's lighting it up. I'm scratching my head why that cannot translate to Wrexham. 73 games for Wrexham, 7 goals. How could it not translate? I mean, the Scottish Premier League is pretty decent, right? Do you keep him because he's still on loan? Do you bring him back? It's worth thinking about, you know. The Scottish Premier League is like I say, a decent league. Probably, with no disrespect, not all the teams, but most of the teams, you could say Scottish Premier League is probably on par with a lot of the top teams in the Championship. So when you're looking at that, you think about what you're thinking with that one. But gotta say, it really does catch your mind of what to think. Now, Ryan Barnett, Ryan Longman, they're sticking with us. I think I want the wingers. I'm not too sure about Ryan Barnett, and I love him. Longman, I'm quite confident with for Championship. Considering he came from there, he's going back. Ryan's got to prove it at the Championship. The one thing that keeps me having Ryan Longman and Ryan Barnett, especially Ryan Barnett, is that crossing ability. And I'm sure he's going to be able to get that cross in, even in the Championship. He's got great feet. He's got a great little brain. He's industrious. And for a forward-minded player, he works hard. in the defensive game too. So I think that Ryan's definitely got legs to stay. Hence, I'm keeping Ryan. James McLean on the fence. Do we keep him? Do we let him go? Legs are getting long. Yes, our captain this year. But is he going to do it next year in the championship? Remember, we're making a team here to go for promotion. Otherwise, if it's not for promotion, James gets to stick around. George Dobson did well this year. Don't know he's got the speed to do it in the championship. He's a bit heavy on the legs at times, does get the crunching tackles in, and has been a servant. But is he good enough to get to the championship? Remember, we're building a beautiful team for promotion. Matty James sticks around. Ollie Rathbone sticks around. Ian O'Connell, Maxi Clure sticks around. And you got to say, Sebastian Revan, Mo File, both on the fence to leave, as is Dan Scott. Back into the chats. Dolby's out of contract. Absolutely, absolutely. But he's on loan. And also, you got to say, going back at it, Callum Burton, Arthur Okonkwo, Marky Howard. I don't think we've got a bad goalkeeping setup. I think all our keepers are pretty much decent to go. Arthur Okonkwo, I'm quite happy moving into the championship. Callum Burton did well when he came in. I was quite happy with the way he generalized the box, owns the defense, screams orders out, and gets everybody on their toes ready. I like that part about him. Callum Burton as well, great on the ground game, going down low, catching with his hands. Doesn't do the splits keeper all the time. He's like an old-style keeper in a new-style frame. But I like what I see with Burton. And obviously, Mark Stephen Howard, I keep him as well. That experience that he brings and his numbers, and he's safe. He's safe. He's safe. Mark is definitely safe. So for the goalkeeping core, I don't think I want to change too much. If, however, someone came in with a big offer for one of ours, then that makes us look for something else. I would, absolutely would, be looking for a championship keeper from last season that you could pluck away. Bring a big keeper in, and with the defensive-minded shell that Phil's obviously got down really well, I think you're adding to making us tough to break down, because in the championship, we're going to have to be tougher to break down than we've been in League One, League Two. Obviously got to be tougher, and we've got to hold it together. There'll be times where we'll probably get 27% possession in a game where we're getting literally battered on the road by one of the big teams in this league. It's going to happen. So to shore up the defense even better is something we really need to look at. I'm sure Phil's going to do it. But those are looking at the guys that I'm looking to move along. Back to Nick. How you doing, Nick, my man? Revenue streams will be essential for championship survival. Absolutely. What's the latest on the stadium development? Tell you what, that stadium development, I'm going to bring a story pretty soon. You must be seeing what's on the boards here, Nick. Obviously, you must be. Is there a mirror behind me? There must be. I'm going to bring a story pretty soon with Fox Bulk Transport out of Wrexham. It entails what you're talking about, so I don't want to spoil that, but I will answer that one. I will answer that one because we've got something coming, a video coming shortly. After the last game, we're doing a Fox Bulk story, a transport delivery story into the stadium, and it's coming probably a week after the final game. So I will answer that. I will, but I want to keep it in there, mate, if I can, please. But back onto SCR. I'm going to say SC Dr. J103. That's a really hard one to understand, but it's pretty cool. Do you resign Howard to a new deal or replace him with a younger keeper as he expires this year? I like Mark. I do. I tell you, yeah, I mean, he's getting up in the age, but he's resilient. He's kept himself in great shape. He always brings a top performance when he plays for Wrexham. I've never seen him fall on his face. And mostly when he gets scored on, it's a good goal. It's not a sloppy goal normally. So I'm thinking that when Mark's between the pipes, because of his age, and he's quite a bit older than most of the defenders, he literally is like a father figure per se, not a big daddy figure, but a fatherly kind of figure in the game terms. Like he's an experienced player. He's been around. He knows the game, knows how to manage it, knows when to slow it down, to speed it up, where the ball needs to go. He knows it. And when you got that resilience and that kind of charisma around you, the other guys, they raise their game. So I think that I'd like to keep him. However, it's a great point. If a younger keeper were to be available at a great level to challenge and push Arthur and Callum, then I think you have to look at it. But again, I'm a big fan of Mark, and maybe too much a fan, and to see the reality at times, and that's why I keep it real. You bring a better player in, yes, I'm always going to say you got to change it out. Absolutely. So that's looking at the squad and the players I'd release. It's not going to be easy. But that was a team releasing players just so we get a promotion charge. I don't want to see this team really get rid of too many players. I think the best foot forward is the 3-year plan, what I told you before, get in the championship, survive next year. That's going to be tough enough. Surviving in the championship is going to be the toughest thing we've faced in the last 4 years. And people that watch Welcome to Wrexham on TV, I love all you, but know this. That documentary in the championship will not be rose-coloured glassed as it has been the last 3 years. It's going to be some tough times in there. There'll be some times in the championship where we have to string a couple of losses together because that's the level we're going to. So again, if we survive and survive handily, 11th in the league next year, that would be ecstasy. That would be absolutely fantastic. You wouldn't get a better shot getting in there from League Two. Most League Two teams, they get relegated the first time around. It's like bang, bang, yo-yo clubs. Bang, bang, straight back down, straight back down. Got up there, massive season before, boom, but just cannot get that level. And it's finances, and it's getting the players in. And a League One team, although it can get promoted, is not at the level of a champ. Though it can get promoted, is not at the level of a championship team. Not even close. We've got to change, no matter what you say, even just to survive. And again, I'm going to say it and harness the point. To survive this season in the championship coming up, 2025, 2026, that's going to be a major, major deal. And if we survive, like I say, I'll be well happy, because it won't be happy. Back-to-back promotions, like I say. Question came in, back-to-back promotions, can we do it again? I'd say not. No, I don't think we can. I think the change of the crew that we'd have to get in, players that we'd have to get in, the money that we'd have to spend, I don't think we want to go that route. I think we need to go the sensible route, build slowly, build the stadium slowly, build the squad slowly, get to the next level slowly, and get there prepared all around. Because when we get to the next stage, my thoughts is, I always said, is the Keras needs to be bigger. Now that the end will start to be developed, it will be, but it's got to be bigger than that. I think a bigger stadium for the Premier League is what you're looking. So give everything time and be prepared, no doubt about it. The other thing is the players. When we go start trading for players, we have now become attractive. The last 3 years, and thankfully as well, partly to TV, partly to how it's been promoted, we are now attractive for top players to come to us. You think of Jay Rodriguez coming from Burnley, yeah? By the way, Burnley promoted into the Premier League, Jay gets another medal. But Jay came from Burnley, top team, yeah? So we attracted him from Burnley to a League One club, Wrexham. That says that big players will come to Wrexham. They see what's going on. They love the story. They get the whole picture, and they want to be part of it. And everybody that gets interviewed that comes to Wrexham, did you notice when they are interviewed at Wrexham AFC on YouTube, and you see the videos? They've all got the biggest smiles. They're all so happy to be here. They can't believe that they got here, and they want to be part of the story. Every one of them says, I just want to be part of the story. Yeah? That won't stop now. That will continue. And players in the championship, do you think they're stupid? They're looking at us. They're like, yeah, I want to be part of that. I mean, it's not exactly like 80,000 that's watching, but those crowds are nuts. The TV show, the direction the club's coming, what they've done, the players they've taken out, the players they've brought in, like it's a revolving door, but they're revolving that door all the way to success. Like again, Rob and Ryan, they're here for the long haul. Big cup of tea, they're here for the long haul. They're not here for the money, and they're R&R loyal. That's what I'm telling you. They're loyal to the cause. They've built something now, and they've built something probably that's gone too bloody well, and there's no way they can back out. And sometimes you get into business, and I'm talking from experience, where things go so well, you cannot get out of it. You got to keep going. And Rob and Ryan, the whole shebang upstairs, yeah, the new board of directors, etc., I tell you, they're going to take this club to the next level, absolutely to the next level. I can't see it going any other way. Richard, that's mad. You think you will be better than Swansea? I don't know about that, mate. I don't know about that. Maybe someone's misunderstood what I said about Swansea. The only thing I said about Swansea on this show was that Wrexham's done back-to-back-to-back promotions, but if you go back to the 1980s, Swansea, I believe, did back-to-back promotions over 5 years. I think that's the only thing I've said about Swansea, unless you've been misled. But anyway, moving along. things you got to think about. This is what I've got to think about for Phil Parkinson. I've got it written down here right now. You go on the summer tour. You go to Melbourne. This is all what Phil Parkinson's got to handle through the summer, and this is to get a team ready just to stay in the championship, not to mount a charge for promotion, but just to stay in the championship. Phil's got to go through this. Think about this and think about Phil. He's going on the summer tour. They're going to go to Melbourne. We know that for sure. Big up to Melbourne. Big up to PJ. Big up to Mr. Melbourne as well, Max Boswell. And you got to say, he's then got to cover the ins and outs. Now, we just discovered the ins and outs. He's got to do the ins and outs on the road. He's not at home. He's not at Wrexham. It's going to be makeshift, handle all decisions, buy, trade, sell, transfer trade players on the road, on the move. That's not going to be easy. That's not going to be easy. You got back-to-back to Wrexham. He's got to get little time when he gets back to Wrexham to then finally get the team prepped for the season. And that, for me, is a recipe for mid-table. That's not a recipe to lead the team to another promotion. So when you think about what Phil and the staff have to do through the summer before the next season, which is going to come faster than they want it, it's like less than 3.5 to 4 months away, okay? Depending when the schedule comes out. And we'll know. And when we know, I'll let you know the first game. But he hasn't got a lot of time, and he's got a lot of traveling to get this team sorted out, get it ready, and then he's going to be dealing with a handful of players, maybe 6 or 7 new guys coming in at least, whereby he's got to get that boat settled again. And then you got the regular players right now. Who will stay? Who will go? It's an interesting time. It's a man-managing time. And Phil being so calm as he is, I think he's the right guy to do it. Where we finish, like I say, mid-table is where I'd like a guy to do it. Where we finish, like I say, mid-table is where I'd like it to be. But think about that. That's what he's got to go through. A couple of things on the game as we move through. And this is a funny one to throw you. Back at the chat just a second. Phil J. West and Swansea are an established championship team. That will finish above them. Hey, no one said we would. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think you're right there, Phil. Like I say, I'm saying 11. Swansea, hey, I tell you what, they're not a bad club. The championship is a tough league. There's a lot of teams in that league that think that they can get out of that league easily. You can't. You look at the likes of Stoke City. Stoke City have been languishing at the bottom of the championship for quite some time. They can't get it going. Yeah? Swansea's not a Stoke City. Swansea's above Stoke City. But Stoke City came down from the Premiership not long ago. Stoke City are struggling to stay above the relegation zone in a championship, yeah? Let that sink in. So anything about Swansea, anybody talking about Swansea, we're saying good things about Swansea. By the way, who's not looking forward to that rivalry continuing? The first time I went to Swansea, I believe it was called the Vetch Field. That's how long ago I was in Swansea, the first time. Vetch Field, Swansea, yeah. So there's going to be a rivalry there. Beautiful rivalry. And it's sad that we can't have Cardiff in there that just got relegated, because that would have been absolutely heaven, yeah? 3 Welsh clubs in the championship. Fantastic. Fantastic. You can't get better than that. But talking a little bit towards the game, this is a little bit of a funny I'm going to do with you right now. October 14th is my birthday. And October 14th, 1066 was the Battle of Hastings. I know. I was there. But the funny thing about it is that 1066 has a big bearing on this game. And you might think, what the hell is he talking about? Like I said, it's a little funny. But Lincoln City's home record is 10 wins, 6 draws, 6 losses, 37 scored, 22 taken for 15 plus. That's 36 points from 66. Keep listening. That's 54%. Wrexham away, 10 wins, 6 draws, 6 losses, 1066. 24 scored, 19 against, plus 5, 36 for 66, and that's 54%, just like Lincoln. Now, Lincoln's last 5 at home, you won't believe this. You really won't believe this. You won't believe this. Lincoln's last 5 at home, 3 wins, 2 draws, no losses, 11 scored, 3 against, 11 from 15 points, that's 73%. Get this. Wrexham, last 5 away, 3 wins, 2 draws, no losses, 7 scored, 3 against, 11 points from 15 at 73%. So they're exactly the same. It is absolutely, the numbers are exactly the same for both clubs going into this. Yeah, last 5 and the home and away, 1066. So I'm calling this the Battle of Hastings in a way, funnily enough. But there you go. And also, something really on a side note for that one, October 14, my birthday. Back in 1864, I cannot nail down the exact day, but I'm bloody sure that Wrexham was either founded on my birthday, or the day before. What a lucky guy. So there's a little bit of funny trivia for you. But yeah, the numbers, 54% and 73%, they're exactly the same going into this game. This match here could go either way, absolutely. The one thing about it is it's a farewell game for Wrexham. I want to see some of the guys that are not going to be here next year get some time. I'd love to see some players that haven't had the time that we want to see get in the play this time around. We don't need the big guns. All the big guns can be sitting in the stands having a day off. We need to fill that team with some of the guys that didn't get time, that are not going to be here, because there's nothing riding on this game whatsoever. It's an away day. It can be a party in the sun at Lincoln, and we can see some of the guys and pay homage and a little bit of love, respect to guys we'll never see play again in that red shirt, because there will be some guys leave pretty soon and you'll never see them again. And it's happened in the past. So that's one of the things I'd like to see happen at this game. You know, who would you want to see that you haven't seen is my take, yeah? And then once the season's done, we know they're going to be moving on. And, hey, I've got to tell you, I've got no problem with that whatsoever. But as for the coaches, it's Phil Parkinson taking over Mick Skubala. Mick Skubala has been there since 2023, 85 games, 35 wins, 22 draws, 28 loss, 41.18% win per record. Now, Phil Parkinson's 61.19. It's quite a bit higher. And 220 games, 135 wins, 48 draws, and 37 losses. That's quite magnificent numbers when you think about it. 61% Phil, 41% Skubala. It's going to be interesting. At the end of the day, like I say, it could go either way, but you wouldn't know unless you tune in. Now, the big games on the big six, top six, and as we get into it, I'm going to say this much: your relegation, guys, it's done. Oh, I love a cup of tea. Relegation is done. All 4 clubs in the bottom 4 are gone. Why? Wigan drew with Burton 1-1. That puts Burton on 47 points. They're safe. The teams below them, both on 43, because of that draw, cannot now close in the gap on the final day with Burton Albion. They're now subsequently relegated. So you got to say Shrewsbury, Cambridge, Crawley, and Bristol Rovers are all now League 2 clubs. And Crawley won the playoff final last year. So that'll tell you how tough it was for Crawley coming in this year. Mansfield only just survived the season, really. And they started so good. They were up near the top 6 doing well early on in, remember? Yeah. Stockport, always a threat to the top 6 all year long. Never hit top 2. Well, no one's going to hit top 1, right? Birmingham's got that hands down. And credit to Birmingham, absolutely. And 108 points right now. I said they'd get 108 to 109. I think they might even get more. It might even go to 111. I said that would be the maximum, but I was looking for 108, 109. So if they draw, I'll be pretty close. Back into the chat. Nick, priority has to be making the team hard to beat. Arthur could have moved on last year, but this is the championship season he signed on for. And I'm hoping to see him shine. Absolutely on the money, Nick. Brilliant. Yeah, I've got to go through that again, pick it off, but making the team hard to beat. That's me when I'm saying we got to get this defensive upped. And it starts with the goalkeeper. So, yeah, I totally agree. Arthur could have moved on last year. He could. They were offers, remember? He could have gone, and he didn't. He stuck around because he saw the vision. And back in the day, back when he first signed, I said one thing with Arthur. When he hadn't signed, when he was looking to probably go back to Arsenal and maybe try his hand, but he'd be going back on loans anywhere, wouldn't he? But I said, Arthur needs to sign for Wrexham so he becomes a number 1, quasi a legend with this club moving forward, because on the tangent that they're moving, why would you want someone else to get in front of you when there's only one guy can get in between the posts at any one given time? So I said he needs to sign. He did the right thing. Absolutely did the right thing. Becomes a legend with the club. Hey, moving forward. Yeah. And I'm hoping to see him shine. I think he's got a better chance at shining in the championship than here, and he's done amazing here. Yeah, He's done absolutely amazing. But I think in the Championship, because it's so much more methodical in the way the game is set and the way the game is officialized, the refereeing and the linesman, it's all slightly different, but it's all much more technically much better. The refereeing, the linesman are at a better level too. I think that suits his game. Arthur's a top pro in my book, and I think that he's building into becoming what I would say something of a gem for Wrexham. We want to keep him as long as we can, but yeah, I hope he shines too. Absolutely, absolutely. Now, looking at the top 6 games coming off this weekend, not all of them have many implications. In fact, I'm going to go through the games. Cambridge takes on Birmingham. You got to think Birmingham's going to get that win there. Cambridge, nothing to play for, but hey, maybe there's a shocker. And would you love to see a shocker? Maybe you would, but not if you're a Blues fan. Lincoln, Wrexham, we know all about that one. We know all about it. Lincoln in 11th, 61 points. I tell you, at home, they're pretty dangerous. They are pretty dangerous, 10.66. But hey, Wrexham's not too bad on the road. They're also 10.66. Wycombe, Stockport. Wycombe, Stockport, both going to the playoffs. Who's going to nail that third place down? I tell you, it could be Stockport. I mean, they're on fire. They are absolutely on bloody fire. Charlton, Burton. Good on you, Burton. Well done, survived. I thought you would. You did in the end. You pulled it out in the last 5 games, and I tell you, power to you, because in the bottom 5 teams, you were the only ones that caught fire. No one else was playing. Well, they were playing to die, but you literally survived, and rightfully so. Going up now, Huddersfield taking on Orient. Orient and Charlton are the games you want to worry about on the weekend. No one's going to go anywhere. It's not going to change the positions, because I'll tell you what, if I look up the table, let me bring up the table for you, and I'll tell you exactly what I'm seeing. We're looking at Charlton and Orient. Nothing's going to change. Leighton, Orient, and Reading. Leighton, Orient, and Reading is what I'm saying. Reading's got Barnsley, and Charlton's got Burton. If you look at the difference there, yeah, the same points is what they're looking at, but it's the goal difference, yeah? The goal difference is killing Reading. I would have loved to have seen Reading get in. When they beat us 2-0, I saw a team there that was really finding feet, finding form, and going places. Recently, though, it fell off. Had they have kept that form, they wouldn't have this argument right now. They would be in 6th, and they would be owning it, and they would be going into the playoffs. But right now, it's the goal difference that's killing them. On the final game of the season, yeah, I'm saying it this way, Reading and Leighton. Reading need to beat Barnsley 4-0, yeah? And you've got to say Charlton needs to lose 5-0 against Burton for that to spin around, because it's 8 goals difference right now. I don't see anything changing. I think what you've got in the playoffs, Leighton will finish in 6th. Charlton, more than likely, got a good chance to get to 3rd, but Wycombe could get to 3rd, and so could Stockport. So the only one that's pretty much in a situation where it's not going to change is Leighton Orient in 6th. But as for 5th, 4th, and 3rd, that could all change around. However, a win for Stockport rules anybody claiming 3rd, and then you got to say it stays as is. It's a farewell match, guys. Remember that. It's a farewell match, and we're going to see some guys at Sinkelbank. That's the home ground for Lincoln City. Hopefully that we won't see again. And if you got a heart, you want to say you'd love to see Paulie Mullion and the people like that to get on the field. Going into the chat quickly, guys. Here we go. Michael Burns, good morning from Western Australia. It's 2:30 in the morning. Good morning, Western Australia. 2:30 in the morning. I hope you got a good cup of coffee, mate. Doubt we'll finish above them. Absolutely. 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 There's, like I say, there's 10 teams stopping us getting in to the top 10 in the Championship. That's 3 Premier Leagues coming down, and the 7 top teams that are not going anywhere this year, but are going to be ready for next year. So I say, if we finished 11th, that would be as good as we could go, but we got to make changes. And Swansea, you know what? Top club. I'm looking forward to the rivalry game. And the first time that I went to Swansea was the Vetchfield. And that was a long time ago. And it didn't look like it looks like now. And it's not what it is like now. So I know a lot about Swansea. I know a lot about a lot of things in Wales. I do. Phil J. Weston coming to you. Hoping Miles and Ollie get a run out on Saturday in case they move on in the summer. Be nice to say goodbye to the fans. Absolutely. Absolutely, Phil. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Even if we lost the game, it would be just lovely to see them play and to thank them. Just to thank them. And Paulie Mullion, let's face it. Well, for what he's done for this club, he's an absolute legend. Legend. Absolute legend. He does not need to go anywhere else. If I had the casting vote in the boardroom, I'd stand up and I'd say, put your votes aside for 1 second, but just hear me now. I don't want to sell Paul, and I don't want him to leave the club for what he's done for this club and for where he's brought us and the goals that he's scored that made this magic happen and this fairy tale come true. He deserves to be rewarded in a way that we never have to say, what club is he part of? Make him the club ambassador. Make him the ambassador. He's the face of the club moving forward. For what he's done, he needs to be heralded and not sold. You can't sell a man like that. Not for my money. You got to keep him. Why would you want to sell something so special? Listen, strikers come score the goals. The hardest thing in football is to score goals. So you're a mercenary as a striker. You want to get money for your goals, and rightfully so. But Paul Mullin doesn't exactly cost $1 million a week, $4,500 a week. Yeah, he's not exactly on $1 billion wages. He's here for his heartstrings. You've seen Paul Mullin standing in the crowd on away days. What other footballer do you see standing in away days in the away end with the fans at a game that he's not part of? That's Paul Mullin. Hence, Super Paul Mullin. So I say this: you cannot sell the man. You have to keep him around. Maybe I'm selfish, but I'm not delusional. The man needs a job after this. Contract runs out in 2027, so he's coming with us to the championship. We're taking Paul Mullin with us. No doubt about it. He's a goal scorer. He's a goal scorer. You feed him the ball, he scores goals. He scores goals. No doubt about it. So he's coming to the championship. End of. When the career runs down at 2027, which would be just about right, yeah? Hey, perfect age to transition into being shirt and tie, and I'm the guy. Welcome to Wrexham, yeah? Perfect thing to do. Put him there. Make him the manager. Not of the club, but of the sales and the promotions, the ambassadorship. Put him on a plane. Send him around the world. Let him have the fun. Put him in the people's faces. That's what they do. Back into the chat. Michael Burns. Reading sold if fails. Wrexham lose 3 points. SPC lose 6 points. Chile and Wickham lose a point. Wickham could win by 4 goals. Wrexham lose on the last day, and all of a sudden Wrexham drop to playoffs and Wrexham get promoted. Sorry, mate, I'm not getting that. I'm going to read that again. Reading sold. Reading sold, question mark, if fails. Could be, yeah. Wrexham lose 3 points. SPC. You know what? I can't make the i.e. unchanged 11 on Saturday. Just saying. Okay, fine. Yes. Sorry, Michael. Sorry, guys. I was reading that wrong. Yes, Michael. Yeah. i.e. unchanged 11 on Saturday. Just saying. It probably will be. It probably. And why would you not? You know. But again, it would be nice to see the guys we haven't seen. It would be nice. Good point, though. Good point, Michael. Good point. But yeah, I mean, it quite possibly will be the level. But if I was Phil, I'd be saying, you know, there's no real reason for me to be so tight on it. I can literally give these guys a rest and put up Paulie Mullin, Ollie Palmer. I'd love to see Ollie Palmer. I really would. Tell you the truth. I just want to say thanks to him. Even if they bring on 5 guys in the second half, bang, 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 just so that the guys on the far end can say thank you very much, and have them guys walk over after the game, take the shirt off, throw the shirt in, and adieu. Bye-bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Done. But at least we give them a chance to have a bit of love back. Because I'll tell you now, you look at Ollie Palmer when we won the promotion last week. I felt so sad for Ollie. I'm looking at the man's eyes, and although he is celebrating, that man looked a little bit sad. Just a little bit. Because for the last major part of the season, he really didn't feature, but for so long he had. Yeah? So for that reason, those guys have maybe lost a little bit of the confidence that they had and their contact. They want to have a game where they get that contact with the players, and the contact of the players goes right up to the touchline at the end of the game to the fans, and they connect with each other. That's what they need. They need to finish off on a high. Give those guys a high to finish. Like I say, it doesn't matter about the result. What matters is that the fans, and the fans have spoken about this, they get a chance to say goodbye and pay their respects. Roselle 91, how you doing, my friend? That they should think in the TV show for the next game a Hollywood ending. Yeah, that's pretty cool, mate. Yeah, a Hollywood ending. What would be the Hollywood ending? Okay. Rob and Ryan don't show their faces, but they show their faces in the away end after about 10 minutes. Wrexham go 2-0 up. They're playing a lot of guys that haven't played before. And I think we played 3 keepers just so that everybody gets a chance. It could be a crazy day. And we win 5-0. So there's your Hollywood ending. That's the best one I can come up with on the fly. But it would be nice. It would be nice. Phil J. Weston says, bring on Ols and Mols on the last 20 minutes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I would love to see Paul Mullin get a ball on the left wing, cut in along the edge of the box towards the semicircle, and unleash a rocket that the keeper can't get to. And he's stretching. The keeper's stretching, and he's stretching, and he's stretching, and it's going in that top corner. That's what I'd love to see Paul do. I think Paul Mullin wants to score a goal for this club so badly and play so badly because he's not a second stringer. He's your number one. He's always been the number one. He's not happy sitting on the bench. Never. He's not happy not being in the limelight. And when he goes up to the crowd, do you understand what's going through his mind? He's connected to you. Absolutely connected. And he wants more of it. Michael Burns, big points. Roselle 91, big points. Phil, big points. Mike back at you. I agree. They just need to change who's on the bench, except Fletcher, as he may also be playing his last match. You know, you got to contemplate with that. Is it Stevie Fletcher's last season with us? I mean, he's done amazing for us. And again, who is your player of the season, guys? Drop it down below when you want to. Who's your player of the season? Or email fifascup@gmail.com. FIFASCUP, player of the season. Great point, though, Mike. Great point. It might be his last match. It could well be. And there could be lots of wheeling and dealing going on right now because we got 3.5 months to get people in. We've really got about 2.5 months to get people in. At the worst, we've got to get people in like now, get them part of the system, get them to know what's what, get them to be comfortable, get them to know the plan. That can't happen in a week. We need to get people turned in and turned out fast. Ins and outs have got to go super, super quick. Otherwise, we're going to get to the dance late and we'll finish bad. And you don't want to risk moving into the championship, not being prepared. So, like I say, Phil Parkinson has got a heck of a time this summer going on tour, getting players in, players out, building a team, getting it ready. Goes back to Wrexham. Won't have a long time to get ready for the season. It's going to be tough. It's going to be touch and go. So guaranteed a good placing isn't guaranteed. We've got to guarantee ourselves, be tough to break down, like you've said in the chat. Be hard to beat. We're going to have to grind out some draws to survive as well. So it's not going to be easy. It's not impossible, but I want to ensure people that don't know about the championship, we are going up a heck of a level. This is the biggest jump Wrexham's had in 4 years. Nick, Ols and Moles from the start. You know what? I like that idea. Nick, I like that idea. Ols and Moles from the start. I really like that idea. I do. They can go as long as they can. They can always be changed out, but I like that idea. I do. And goalkeeper, would you play Arthur Okonkwo, everybody? Would you start Arthur? Or would you bring another guy in? Who would you start in goal? It's time to, put someone else in there. We got good goalkeepers, so it really doesn't matter. And there's nothing on the game. And Arthur doesn't need another shutout. He's got enough already. Yeah. So just saying, but great point, Nick. Yeah. Ols, Moles right from the start. Michael Burns again. We do have 9 on the bench in the championship, and Moles hasn't had a preseason in 2 years. He could be resurrected. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You're going up a different league, different rules, different strategies. It's a heck of a jump. But again, adding to that, the guys that push these out, they do a lot better up there. It's a bigger league. It's a better league. And it allows you to play football as well. It's not as crunching as hard, but it's faster. There is fast players in the championship, especially up front. So that's one of the things you're definitely going to see the difference of. But I got to tell you. Now, so there's the top 6. I'm looking at no change at all. You've heard that. And you've got to feel sorry for Reading because there's nothing they can do to change the picture. They're level on points with Leighton in 6th. There's nothing they can do. 8 goals difference. There's nothing happening there. You got to feel sorry. Because like I say, moving back in time, when Reading beat us 2-0 a few weeks ago, I was pulling for those guys to hopefully get something done. It hasn't happened, and it's not going to happen. Quickly looking at the games coming off this weekend. Results midweek, I told you, Burton took out Wigan. Drew Wigan 1-1. That's why all 4 clubs are now relegated. So the relegation battle is over. Blackpool 0, Birmingham 2 to 108 points. The champions on 108 points now. You want to know who scored? Okay, I'll tell you. Ethan Laird on 39, and that man, Alfie May, on 51. Alfie's had a good season. Alfie's definitely had a good season. I like what I see with Alfie. Not playing right. Here we go. But yeah, Alfie's had a good season. 41. And finally, Mansfield finishing on a high, and you got to feel sorry for Nigel Clough, the way his season started. Mansfield way up there doing well, close to us. Then it just went down like a slow escalator. So slowly, really slowly, but it kept going down, and it kept going down, and it kept going down. And they were right above the relegation zone a few weeks back, and you're thinking, no, they're not going to get dragged into it, but it's not going to be great. But they've survived. That's what we need to do next season, is survive in the Championship. Doesn't matter where, survive and build from there. Games coming up this weekend, Saturday, May 3rd, Rotherham, Peterborough. Mansfield's got another game in quick time here against Peterborough. Mansfield's got another game in quick time here against Exeter. They may be tired. Bolton taking on Stevenage. Cambridge taking on Birmingham. Cup of tea time. Just a second, guys. Cambridge taking on Birmingham. The champions there, a win, and they're on 111 points. A draw? 109, like I want them to be. My prediction, come on in. I said 108, 109. You know that. Lincoln City taking on Wrexham. It's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. You've got to say that Lincoln might want to beat Wrexham, who've just got promoted, to take out one of the big guys. But their season at home, 10-66, not bad. Wrexham away, 10-66. That's wins, draws, and losses. Northampton taking on Wigan. Charlton taking on Burton. Charlton, I tell you, dark horse through the playoffs. Charlton, Nathan Jones, dark horse. I think everybody's looking at Stockport, and rightfully so, Stockport. But Charlton could be interesting. Could be interesting. If it's possible, draws all around, keeps them where they are. Charlton could play Stockport in that final. That would be a cracking final. But Charlton, dark horse in my books to get promotion. Everybody's looking at Stockport. Reading taking on Barnsley. Shrewsbury taking on Crawley. Wickham, the Stockport game, and Blackpool taking on Bristol Rovers. Huddersfield taking on Leyton Orient. Like I say, sad days. There's nothing they can do. One thing I want to share with everybody in Wales and in Canada. I've been looking at this date, and I think it's time to release it to you. September the 9th this year, 12:45 kickoff. Wales take on Canada. Where's the game coming off? Swansea. Yes. So there's something for you. Remember that. Chalk that on your calendar, because we're going to do it. We're doing that game. Is Wales taking on Canada, September 9th, 2025. It's a 12:45 kickoff Mountain Time. Check your listings. So 7:45 Wales, I believe, is the correct time for kickoff. So get into that if you didn't know. And on that game, I'll have the studio decked up in Wales one side and Canada the other side. Really easy. Really easy. So last time, September 9th, Wales is playing Canada in Swansea. Get a load of that. You'll enjoy that one. Again, cutting this one down to size. It's a farewell. It's a farewell to the players. It's a farewell to League One. That's what I'm happiest about. Not saying farewell to the players. I'm happy to say farewell to League One. Grim plays, big up to you, buddy. Big up to you. But it's a farewell to League One. Phil needs to release it. Go for the win on a happy away day. Doesn't have to be the same team that finished last game, but it could be. But bring in some of the guys we want to see. Ollie Palmer's been one of the guys we've heard about to come in. Super Paul Mullin, people are saying bring him in too. Yeah. Do you need Arthur in net? Maybe not. Maybe Mark can get a start. Yeah. So those little things I'm looking for changes to please the fans, because this game here, Phil must realize he has the opportunity. Result means nothing, but he can go and please the fans on an away day. Yeah. That's what I'd be looking at. Phil knows the game. He knows the fans. He knows the situation. He knows what to do. He's been around the block. He knows what needs to be done. Back into the chat right now. Grim plays. Hello, I get this with it. Hello, all. How are you? Grim plays. He's getting into the Welsh. Michael Burns. 17 years ago, on the last day of the season, Wrexham played Lincoln away. This is great. As their last game in the Football League for 15 years. How strange is that? Keep bringing it, Michael. Those are what people love to hear. I'm going to read that again one more time. 17 years ago, on the last day of the season, Wrexham played Lincoln away as their last game in the Football League for 15 long years. And after that, it was a National League. Nothing happened. And every time we got close to glory, we failed. Didn't we, eh? 5 big shots at it, and it didn't really happen, and then it did. So it's been a tough road, this road to success. It's a road that you've seen teams go up and up and up and up and up, and then down. And they seem to come down faster than they went up. And you can say that about a lot of clubs. You look at League One and look at the Premier League clubs that are in League One that were Premier League clubs 10, 15, 20 years ago. They went down fast and they've never recovered. That's what it can do for you. Back into the chats. Phil J. Weston, weren't the Wrexham fans in fancy dress that day at Lincoln? They probably were, and they should be this one too, right? So I say this is a farewell party, a farewell festival. You know, it's an away day to just go and have a blast. You know, why would you not go to this game? Why would you not go to this game in fancy dress? I mean, that's just absolutely on the money. Yeah, get dressed up, let yourself loose, have a couple of pops. Unbelievable. You'd have a great time. Absolute great time. There you go. Brilliant. They were indeed. They were indeed. See, everybody's learning from the chat. And that's what this is about. That's what the family is about. You guys keep bringing it. And that's why I love you for it. It's absolutely golden what you guys write. It's absolutely golden. Seriously, absolutely golden. Just looking here now. That's another point. The next 4 months, it's going to be changes. A lot of changes. How many changes are we going to see in the next 4 months? Begs you to ask that question. Because there's two ways we're going. We're either chasing promotion, not a good idea. And we're wasting a lot of money, not a good idea. And we're not going to make it because we won't. We've got to pace ourselves. So go the 2 to 3 year plan, build up over time, get ready for it, make a charge. You might get through the playoffs on the 3rd year. That's okay. But are you getting there a little bit too early? Get there on time, yeah? Get there on time. Build it properly. And you won't fail. Too many times you've seen go up and down. Teams go up and down. Teams go up and down. You look at Premier League teams recently. Sheffield United, yeah, Burnley, Leeds. Up and down, up and down. They keep going up and down. Leicester's another one, yeah. Southampton's another one. Up and down, up and down. They can't seem to sustain it to stay up. Because when they went from Championship to Premier League, yeah, they had a brilliant season in the Championship. But they weren't ready as a club to go to that next level. And it's not the coaching, it's the player level. It really is the player level. You cannot play in the Premier League with a Championship team. You've got to adjust. As I say, you've got to spend to blend. If you don't spend to blend, like Rob and Ryan have got to do this year, you're going to have a tough time. They're going to have to spend to blend to survive in the Championship. There's no question about it. How much they're going to spend? It depends on what players we need. It depends on who Phil decides to keep. But Phil's going to have to let guys go. Hence, this farewell game, it's got to be to say goodbye to all the players. It's just time to say goodbye. But Saturday's another game, and the rest of the games are more games. And by the end of that, we'll know where the final positions for the 4 playoff clubs are. When we've got that down, I'll be doing playoff all the way through. We'll go through the first round, then we'll get to the final, but we cover the playoffs as it happens. Then we'll know who goes to the Championship with Birmingham, Wrexham. The likelihood is probably a good chance that Stockport County can do this. But I think that Charlton is definitely the dark horse. Or, if he can turn it around, Mikey Dodds with Wycombe Wanderers needs to turn that thing upside down right now and get it back to where it was when Matt Bloomfield had it when they were guaranteed second spot. Get it back to where it was when Matt Bloomfield had it when they were guaranteed second spot, where it would never have gone to Wrexham. Not in a million years. Mikey Dodds has come in, done his best, but you've seen it. And they dropped points like we discussed, and you know they were dropping points, and they have all the way to the end. They didn't finish well. Can you turn that around at this stage of the season? No, I don't think you can. You got shellacked 4-0 at home by Charlton. And you could see that in a replay, if they met themselves again in the playoffs, per se, if it were possible, yeah, you could probably see Wycombe winning 4-0. That's football for you, I know, but very unlikely. Very unlikely. But through the playoffs, Stockport, Charlton, Reading is your possible dark horse, if possible. But that's what I'm saying. Saturday, it's a farewell. I look forward to the watch along. I really do. I'm looking at the stats, 1066, R&R, Ryan and Rob are loyal to the cause. They're not about money. They're about the club. When you put it all together for the watch along, we're building up to a farewell party. I hope that we see those guys on the field that we've talked about. You know the likes I'm talking about. Your Paul Mullins, your Ollie Palmers, Mikey Howards. Maybe your Revens. Revan hasn't had a lot of time recently. Get him out on the field, yeah? He needs to get on the field to show something. Is he one of the players that we get to release? Does he stick with us? Again, lots of things you can think about where this is going to go. But one thing you know for sure, the watch along is coming up on the weekend. The one thing I think is one thing for sure is we're going to have another passionate commentary. You're going to enjoy yourself. I'm going to enjoy myself. We get a chance to see the team one more time. And then nothing. Nothing at all. What are you going to do when there's not a match or a pre-game or a post-game or a watch-along through the summer? There's a question for you. What do you do through the summer? I know what I do. I'm going to get on my motorcycle. I'm going to go riding up through the mountains and things like that. And I'll show you some videos of that happening. I'm going to get out in the sun. I'm also going to be doing Wrexham shows through the summer too, because there'll be the likes of the trades coming in, yeah? The tour coming along. The match is still to be played and all the news about Wrexham. So you're still going to get all that too. So the shows will continue. But what are you going to do without football every week? Are you in the situation where you say, good, I get a break from it. I get a break from it. I can go away, do something, blah, blah, blah. Or are you like, I can't wait until this thing gets going again because I haven't had enough and I never get enough and I want more. And if my bowl is double full, I want 2 bowls, please, because I can't get enough. I want more, more, more. What are you going to do without football? Because I know, like I say, we're going to have plenty of shows coming through. So don't worry about for a fact. You'll have plenty of shows coming through. But watch along this weekend. Join us again. Seriously. Get into it. And you'll have a massive time with me. Just going to hit the chat one more time. Roselle91, we need the worst team win the play of a week revival for next year. We need the worst team win the play of the week. So I think he's saying we need to win badly and a weak rival for next year. A weak rival. Yeah, I hear what you say. Swansea will not be weak, though. That's one thing. No. Swansea will not be a weak rival. I mean, if you've survived in the Championship, you've got some muscle to you and you've got some quality. And they do. Yeah. And with a bit more fortune, they would have finished higher this year. Yeah. So, but you would like a weaker rival. Yeah. And if you're thinking about teams we played in the past, Newport County, give you an example. Yeah. That was pretty much even Stevens. If we were a little bit bigger because we're a bigger club now. So, yeah, a weaker rival, that would be quite funny. But, yeah, good point, Roselle91. Good point. Michael, back at you. Michael Burns. Strangely, though, they could build slowly, not insane, and still do well by the January window. Then they could do what they did this year. Ipswich went from League One to Premier League in 2 years. Yeah, they did. Absolutely. But unfortunately, I mean, Kieran's a great coach at Ipswich, and they did as much as they could in the Premier League this year, but they're going straight back down. They're one of those yo-yo clubs right now. Southampton, Leicester, the same thing, yo-yo clubs. Decent clubs, hard to beat in the Championship. So there's 3 tough games coming our way, guaranteed. But there's a thing, yeah? 3 beautiful big clubs coming to the Stoke Keras. 3 beautiful big clubs we're going to travel away to. There's a lot of big, beautiful clubs in the Championship, yeah? So it's a whole massive, big difference. I mean, look, it's going to be a whole different party next year. The last 3 years have been great. But next year is going to be a different level all around. You're going to see some big crowds. You're going to see some beautiful football fields, absolute gorgeous stadiums. Yeah, we're going up a whole new dimension. It is as if we've hit a footballing galaxy that we haven't been to, like Phil J. Weston said, in over 40 years. That's how long it is since we've been at that level. And it is, in my opinion, the level in English football if you want an English league or an English. And it is, in my opinion, the level in English football if you want an English league or an English and Welsh league, I should say. But if you want the best in English and Welsh football, the Championship, for my take, that's it. If you want the best in England for world football, that's your Premier League. No doubt about it. But, hey, back into the chat. Michael Burns. Yep, absolutely, yeah. And then Michael says about Ipswich, then they got relegated, which is harsh lesson, of course. Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just finances, guys. It's not just finances. It's about being ready as a team, tactically, on and off the field, and literally having the quality of player. Back at you, Phil J. Weston. See you at the watch along on Saturday, guys. Great live preview, Stevie. Thank you, Phil. Thank you very much, man. I'll see you on Saturday. Roselle91, will Wrexham come to USA in summer? I haven't heard yet, but I tell you what, I'd love them to. They're going to Melbourne, yeah, in July, and that's all I know so far. That's against the Melbourne City. So we'll see what happens. But I'd love them to come to America. I would. Last year, I went to the game in Canada. That was at Vancouver. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal. It was probably the best event, footballing event, and I've been to World Cups, and I've been to FA Cup finals and all sorts of things as well. I tell you, hand on heart, that was the best arranged event for a footballing match, equal to a World Cup finals. Equal. And that was in Vancouver. That was July last year. And I had the time of my life. I've been to a lot of football matches, and I tell you what, it takes a lot for my skin and my hair to stand on end, right? But I walked into that building, and once the atmosphere hit peak and the guys are coming out and the game's about to roll, man, oh man, I mean, I started feeling it like I'd never felt it before. And I've had the fortune, the luck to talk World Cup finals and be at World Cup finals. But I tell you what, man, that Vancouver game, that was something else. I literally was, it was like I was having a footballing spiritual moment. It was just something bloody else. Melbourne, you better get ready. You better get ready, because that is what's coming your way. Guys, the game is coming. The watch-along's coming. I can't literally think of anything I want to do more than see you back here on that watch-along. I'm going to hit the chat one more time before we go away, because we've got more people dropping lines in here. But I got to say, the watch-along's coming. Be there on the weekend and we'll have a great time. Michael, back at you. Club World Cup this year in USA, Canada, Mexico, no Premier League. Clubs coming this year or next year. One more time. Club World Cup this year. Yep. USA, Canada, Mexico, no Premier League. Clubs coming this year or next. You know, I wonder why that is. It's kind of strange. They swamped us for years with all the big clubs, and I guess they're just trying to spread it now to the other parts of the world. But again, I'm going to say that match, Wrexham taking on the Vancouver Whitecaps, where we won 4-1 on the day. I was right behind the goal, and James McLean scored that header. And I'll tag it on the end of this. But James McLean scored that goal. I was literally 20 feet from James when he scored that goal. And as it came into the corner, you can see my angle because it's me filming that. And yeah, it was just fantastic. It was fantastic. It was absolutely bloody amazing. Absolutely amazing. Guys, I tell you what, we're literally at the closing door. I just want to say this much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here throughout the year, building this channel, making it what it is. And I tell you what, I love everybody in the chat because you guys rock it. You know your stuff, and you're so much fun. And you just make this what it is. Without you, this would not be half as what it is. So get ready for the watch along. That's where we're going next. That's Saturday. And I tell you what, we're getting up early in the morning because we're at a regular kickoff time. Absolutely. I'm going to start at 7:45 Mountain Time. That'll be 2:45 Wrexham time. Enjoy yourselves wherever you are. Much love. Chiquera todos. I love you all. Come back for the watch along. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. One more time. We've got one more time. Michael Burns coming in. I think that's what they did. Here we go. I think that's what they did this year. They bought smart in summer, never fell below fourth, and splashed some cash to push for promotion, and it worked. That's the key to success to 3 years' time. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But everybody, have a great day. Get ready for the watch along. I'll see you there. And obviously, we'll have something to work with over there because there's no game right now, but there's loads of chat. Cheers, guys. Have a great day, great night. Good night, good night, good night. And good morning, wherever you are. Big love.